In this video, we are going to focus on the manipulation of properties of type page and page list within a data transform. I would like to start by pointing out the differences between a page property and a page list property. In simple terms, a page property can store a single item of a data object, whereas a page list stores multiple items of a data object. In our application, we already have 6 data objects, and we can create page or page list property of any of these data types. Now, within a data transform, the main actions you can use for each one are set, update page, append to, and append and map to. For set, well, we have already used this action many times. It's used to set an individual property value. Update page is used on properties of type page. It's mainly used to map values into them. Now, both set and update page actions can also be used with a property of type page list, as long as you indicate the index of the item to update. Now, the remaining two actions are exclusively for a page list property. Append to is used to create a new item based off another one item of the same class. Append and map to similarly is used to create a new item, but here we manually map the values into it. Okay, so let's get started. In the second step of our first stage, we have this section where we have a page property and a page list property. One is room page and the other one is room page list. As you can see, here is the type of property, single page, page list, and as you can also notice, the page definition is for room in the data layer, or both. So what I want to do is to have some information here by default. And as you remember, PY default is a data transform that runs every time a new case gets created. And within our PY default, we have an action to run this data transform by defaults for development as well. So here I'm going to update this data transform to add some information into our room page and room page list. So let's start with set. For set, if we want to set a value for a page property, we have to select a page and then a property of this page. For example, rate, I'm going to set it to 10.5. I'm going to save this and create a new case. I should have this rate over here. Yep, here it is. Now, similarly, I can use update page. So in this case, I have to select here on the target only the page property. And here I have to set the property that I want to modify. Now, when we are talking about the page list properties, you can also use set and update page. So for example, if I wanted to update the page list property, I have to indicate an index where I want to modify it. Pega, we start with the number 1. In many programming languages, you start with 0, but here in Pega, you start with 1. Similarly, with set, we have to do the same. On page list, here, maybe I want to add a second item, and then I have to select the property that I want to modify. So with this, I should have 2 items in my room page list. Uh, the reason why I don't have the new items is because of this data transform that is called remove unassociated rooms. The function of this data transform is to remove items that don't match the hotel selected in the previous step. So what I'm going to do is to disable this action. Let me save this and try again. Yeah, that was it. Okay, so that was set and update page. Now let's see append to and append and map to. As I mentioned, append to is used to create a new item based off another one item of the same class. And let's remember that these two are exclusively for page list property. And with these actions, we don't need to indicate an index because we are appending a new item into it. So here I have my room page list, and I can use an existing page as the target for the item to the page list that I want to add. So if I remove this, you can see here that that Pega is expecting a page list here, and over here it's expecting a page. Okay, let's go back, page, list, and room page. So right now we don't have any information in room page. So I'm going to add a new step and populate room page with some random information. See, we copied this room page property into one item of our page list. If we do it twice, we will have two items in our page list. So I'm going to copy this one and paste it below. So now I'm appending two items into this room page list. Now, the append and map to is very similar to append to, but here we have to manually map the values into the room page list. So we can do it like this, or we can use an existing page, in this case the room page, and since we have a value for rate, well, we could use it over here. Let me actually give you another example. I'm going to update room page rate here to be equal to 10.99. So we will end up having two items in the page list, one for 11.5 and another one for 10.99. Okay, so now with all of this, I want to actually have good information this step. So let's go back to this data transform, enable again this step, save this, and let me create a quick case. I'm going to add some information. So I want this step to look like this. So let's open the clipboard. Let's go to PY workpage. And I'm going to copy the values from room page and also from room page list. So this information is for this, and this information is for this one. This information is for this item. Okay, so here we are updating the room page. Then we are appending this room page into the room page list. And lastly, we are appending a new item into the room page list. So if we run a new case, we should have this information in each case. So that's everything that I have for you today. In the next one, we will take a look at how to manipulate page list properties with symbolic indexes. See you in the next one. Thanks.